Hello, I'm Emily Jemba. I'm a fellow here at the Civil War Institute. I'm also a violinist in the Gettysburg College Shenderman Conservatory Symphony Orchestra, and today I would like to welcome you back for another episode in the Civil War era music mini-series. Today I'm going to pick up where I left off last time by continuing to look at how music changed during the Civil War era. So last time we talked about some sentimental songs, and today we're going to be looking at some songs that have a bit more of a triumphant tune to them. So first we're going to look at one song that was written during the war, and then we're going to look at a song that was written in the post-war period, both of which today are going to be about General Sherman. So the first song that I'm going to talk about today is When Sherman Marched Down to the Sea. This particular piece was written between late 1864 and early 1865 by S.B.M. Myers and E. Mack. So Myers was a Union prisoner of war in a prisoner of war camp in Charleston, South Carolina, whenever he wrote this particular piece. He wrote it about General Sherman's excellent leadership skills and how he acted in battle. And so he wrote this as a prisoner of war, and then with the aid of an African-American fellow was able to smuggle it out of the camp, and then the gentleman went forward and published it for him. Although Myers never went and copyrighted the piece, so he never received much financial compensation for its wide success. However, a bit ironically, he did receive a bit more of a compensation that was more prideful. Whenever the troops of Sherman came into the camp to liberate them whenever he marched into Charleston. According to the story, he supposedly heard these men singing the song that he had written. So this particular piece is about Sherman in battle, and so the first verse focuses on the soldiers preparing for battle. Second verse is about the buglers calling them to arms. The third verse is about the fighting itself and Sherman leading his forces bravely through that. The fourth verse is about the final push forward commanded by Sherman, and then the fifth verse is about Sherman's final victory. And it has a very triumphant tune to it. And so this particular piece does focus more on the battle and fighting itself than some of the other songs that we've looked at so far. So now I'm going to be playing for you When Sherman Marched Down to the Sea. So that was When Sherman Marched Down to the Sea. Now we're going to look at a song that was written in the post-war period. The song is called Hold the Fort, and it is by Philip Paul Bliss. He wrote this song in 1877, and he wrote it about a battle that took place at Altoona Pass in Georgia. So this battle was in 1864, and there were about 1,500 Union troops led by General French there. They were fighting about 6,000 Confederate troops, so they were badly outnumbered. And they eventually received a signal from General Sherman that he was on the way with reinforcements to help support them. Upon receiving this message, General French and his men continued to fight for another 3 hours, holding off the Confederate forces until Sherman arrived. And supposedly, according to the story, whenever Sherman did arrive, then the Confederate forces took one look at him and then fled. So this particular song does not really talk about battle, at least not as much as the first song. While battle is in it, of course, and is definitely part of the backstory, it is not featured as prominently in the lyrics. Instead, Sherman is the main object of this song, and many of the lyrics compare him to Jesus and have divine references. So while similar to the first song, he is glorified rather than being glorified as an excellent general, but still a man. This particular song glorifies him in a divine sort of light. So now I'm going to be playing for you Hold the Fort, written in 1877 by Philip Paul Bliss. that was Hold the Fort. And so similar to when Sherman marched down to the sea, which was written during the Civil War, there is a focus on General Sherman, but unlike the song that was written during the war, which focused on Sherman's leadership skills in battle, Hold the Fort takes a more glorifying look at Sherman and gives him a sort of divine light. And so I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch this video.